Yo, this is Eric Dillinger, public enemy number one, and you're drinking at Moe's, motherfucker. Am I allowed to cuss?
Oh, yeah.
All right, hell yeah. I was with it.
This is Drinkin at Mo's, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Mo's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Mo's, that's where it's at. Like a power bomb, we hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
All right, everybody, taking time out before we get this show started. I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin' Mo's be a brand ambassador for their clothing line. They got good stuff. They got t-shirts, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got lots of great stuff, encouraging everybody to break out of their comfort zone, live their best self, and hey, it's something I try to live every day. Now, be sure when you go and you're filling out your order, use the code Drinkin' at Moe's, get 10% off, and the link and the code will both be in the description. Let's fucking go. Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome, Drinkin' at Moe's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit. Because YouTube's algorithm is a pain in the ass, where most places you can find your audio podcast too. And you know what? Today, as of this recording, I have yet to ever have this pleasure of getting to chat with somebody directly after a match that they just had on that I was actually watching. Public enemy number one, Eric Dillinger. How you doing?
Oh, man, feeling great, dude. Had a great fucking match. Still coming down, but riding that high, brother, so I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah. I've been around many of my friends in the business, and yeah, there's that little bit right after the match where you're still amped up from everything.
Man, I feel like I still got the boots on, so I'm like, yo, let's go, you know?
Yeah. But first thing I'd like to start off with everybody with is what got you started as a fan, and then what got you deciding to make that leap into the business?
Yeah, I got a little while. So I've been a fan since I was a kid. I'm actually I'm adopted on my dad's side. So me and my adopted dad, it was actually one of my first VHSs. I'll age myself a little bit, but it was Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. And I remember being an Ultimate Warrior guy, and everybody was all about Hogan, and I was just like, nah, no way. And then it was like when he won, something just clicked in me. I was like, this is fucking awesome, and this is what I want to be. So it started there, man, and then it just never stopped. I think I don't have to explain wrestling. Once you're hooked, you're hooked. And
oh yeah,
game over after that, man. So I was always an athlete, and I just knew I could probably do it. I ended up. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I know I'm on Drinkin' at Moe's, but I'll be real. I don't drink. So.
Hey, I always tell people just because it says Drinkin' at Moe's doesn't mean that it has to be alcoholic. Like I've had people that recovering alcoholics that were sober for all that, and you know what? I respect that because I actually used to work at a rehab center for teenagers.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
So I know the hard work that goes into all that. So while I respect those that don't.
No, and that's how I feel too. And I always like something I've been through over the years was it's like that's an issue that I have. It's not on anybody else. That is a personal. You gotta take responsibility for that shit. You know what I mean? So that's on me. So even being around it by now, like none of that bothers me. It's my choice, and I love that. And actually, to segue back in, I technically graduated from the School of Rock, Billy Rock, King of India. That's what's up. Little shout out. I graduated and then just kind of kept drinking though, man. I did one match, went back to drinking, went back to MMA, fought for a little bit and fighting and drinking, you know what I mean? That was that. And then got pretty deep down the well, brother. You know what I mean? And then I can actually remember a day, me and a childhood friend of mine, we were friends through wrestling, both loved it. And I was shit hammered, man. And I was like talking about wrestling and how I know I could do it, da da da. And as a true friend, he looked me dead in the eye, said either do it or shut the fuck up about it. And around that time, I could go a little bit, but I eventually had some more hard times, but quit drinking. And the second I was done, I was like, this is what I want to fucking do. I'm doing it. I don't give a shit. And it's been hitting the ground running since, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, hell, I somewhat relate with the podcast because I started, and then my wife and I ended up expecting twin girls, but they got born crazy immature or premature,
Yeah.
and only made it a week. And there was a period of time where I was like, maybe I drank a little bit too much at the time. But then I got to thinking, like, because I was down and thinking, like, am I even going to want to go back to the podcast? But then I got to thinking, you know, my little girls wouldn't want daddy to be a quitter. So I just full force back into it. Now I'm inching that much closer to 300 episodes.
Dude, congrats. That's amazing, dude. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I've had people on from former, guys that are back in WWE now, like Bronson Reed. I just released an episode with the former Lucha Underground champion, Marty the Moth.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I've had a former Ring of Honor 6-man tag champ, Dutch, on.
I love that.
That got me attention from Bray Wyatt, actually.
Oh, all day.
Oh, totally. God rest his soul. But yeah. It was on Twitter about that episode, and like I was driving home from work, and I see this alert, and I didn't recognize the little picture.
No,
so
hell yeah!
I'm like, okay, when I get to a stoplight or something, I'll look. And then I looked, and I about dropped my phone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had a moment like that. Just a little snippet, even just to stay on that, just on those moments too. I did it's kind of got some good views. The big leg drop at ICW, the redacted. The second I saw Rob Van Dam liked it, you couldn't tell me nothing the rest of the day, brother. You know what I mean?
Like, oh yeah, no, I have definitely had moments like that. Like, right when I had the recording with Bronson Reed, I was actually at the show for Warrior Wrestling, now Pro Wrestling Ventures, out of Chicago. They were in St. Louis. And he had a match against Jeff Cobb that night. And there was like right after the fan fest ended to right when it's like, okay, he has to go put on his gear. He like gave me that block of time. He's like, let's go. I'm like, holy shit.
That's amazing, brother. Hell yeah.
And then moments like, okay, before we get into, you know, the trip that you just came back from,
yes, sir.
That big wrestling weekend for me, starting with tonight, and talking with you, Flophouse, and then I am actually making my commentary debut on Sunday.
I love this.
And getting to the main event is actually going to be one person in the match is actually going back to Ring of Honor, Cheeseburger.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That's a big weekend, brother. Congrats on that too, my man.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty hyped. Like the anxiety and the butterflies are already going, and I got another full day in between.
Yeah. That's the worst part, brother, is the wait. You know what I mean? Like,
oh god, yeah. I've had one other time where I've done something for a show, and I remember being back behind the curtain, and somebody had to come calm me down because I was pacing back and forth like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
There's no different than a match, man. That's the worst when you're like ready to rock and then there's an intermission or something. You know what I mean? You're like, oh
god, yeah.
I'm just ready to go. Like,
yeah, you get those butterflies going like that. You're almost like, okay, can I just do my match now?
Yeah, I'll go right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
And it's really cool that the trip you just came back from on your UK tour, and for places like, for anybody that doesn't know much about UK wrestling, Rev Pro is like a destination spot over there.
Yes, sir.
And you got work for them on this tour. What was that experience like for you?
Man, I can I'll even just give you a little snippet too. So I'm in a tag team at the moment with Josh Crane, who is the man, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I don't gotta tell anybody else that knows him. Dude's been crazy just like me our whole life. You know what I mean? So we went and we actually ended up working against each other. Got a this is awesome, the whole nine from CXW. And man, he was injured on the way over there. He could feel it. And I'll tell you what, 8.5 hours on a plane doesn't do you any good either. You know? So he trooped the match. And once we got to the hotel, I knew something was up. He was hurting, man. So he actually had to fly back early, which was kind of, I put a little post about it where I was kind of at a crossroads, man. Do I come home, which was, I could have, you know what I mean? I even, truth be told, I had the flight. I went ahead and paid the upgrade. I was like, I guess I'll fly back. And then, man, what you just said, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Rev Pro is a big one for me. And it's just, I just couldn't let it go. So I talked to Josh about it. I ended up staying. A little nerve-wracking by myself in another country. You know what I mean?
Oh,
man?
yeah,
But
totally. I can totally get
just
that.
a little bit, you know?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and then once I got there, dude, I couldn't have been with better people. The locker room was an atmosphere unlike any other. You could just feel it. I'll give you a moment. I'm big on being a fan first too, dude. Like that's what got me into this shit. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? All that, dude, all of it, man. So getting in the ring and seeing the Rev Pro logo on the mat was just a moment for me. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna do the damn thing tonight. You know what I mean? And the reception I've gotten since has just been heartwarming. You know what I mean?
That is awesome because I mean, you think about some of the people that have gone through there and came over to the States, and hell, one of my personal favorites has even been a champion over there, Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh,
dude, I love that guy.
Dude, all day, man. That's what I love, that hard hitting shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't get better than when it comes to fucking strong style. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. And there's that strong style. That's what I was thinking because it definitely gave first impressions are everything. I remember the first Tomohiro Ishii match I saw, and over in Japan, when you throw a headbutt, you're hearing the bone-on-bone smack. Over here in the States, there's people that make it, look that hard.
100%.
But over there, that one match that I saw, like, I literally heard the bone-on-bone smack, and I'm like, I got a headache now.
Yeah, exactly. Even talking about it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Even talking about it's a little like, ugh.
Yeah,
but, the scene over there is something that a lot of fans over here who might only get to pay attention to their local indie scene or what's on TV don't get to see a lot of that. So they're like, honestly, yeah, because of cost and stuff of everything's expensive these days. It's understandable that some people might not be able to afford to watch it, but man, is it a treat when you get to.
Oh man, even just being in the back watching the other matches, you know what I mean? I was like, this is what I'm talking about. I'm here for this shit. You know what I mean? It was just, and each one was hard hitting, man. And even then, I got one of the best messages when I came to the back. They just said off the first strike, I hit him with this chop that was just loud and good, and they were like, it literally made everybody sit up in their seats, and that's what I'm fucking. Oh yeah, and you know what I mean?
Oh God, there is nothing like that first strike of a match where you're not knowing fully what to expect, and then it hits like way louder than you might have anticipated, and then you're like, oh damn, okay.
Man, I followed that up with my I hit that big, we call it the taker dive. I hit that big taker dive over the top, and I heard him from then, and that's what he was like, dude, it was this guy's fucking awesome from there. And that's what I
No.
came to do. It's just so fulfilling from the beginning for Josh. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
we'll be back. You know what I mean? So it was
Oh
just,
yeah. No, I'm sure once he's healthy again and you guys get back over there and go, you guys will be barn burners after barn burners.
all day, man. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. And funny thing, I actually just like partially helped sponsor somebody on a UK tour here recently in shiny shoes.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
love me.
actually, he had asked me if I wanted to, and then I was like, shit. I mean, I might not be able to give you the full thing, but I can definitely help you out there. So he showed me the image where my logo would be on his thing that he made. I'm like, awesome.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Good on you too, man. That's respect for that.
Oh yeah. It was shortly after I had him on the podcast that, got to have the opportunity to do that. And it was like, not very often am I getting those chances to where it's actually at a level I can afford it. So it's like,
Yeah.
shit, if there's a level I can afford it, let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. And then to be seen over there, like you said, no different than me, man. Like just different eyes, new
Oh yeah.
people. That's perfect,
Oh,
brother.
totally. And it's interesting because apparently I got somewhat of a following over there in the UK, which I did not realize until I was looking at the the ratings and shit, and I'm like, wow,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, nothing
maybe I
better,
need to
brother. I
get
love
my
it.
ass over there.
Hell yeah, go get you some, man. That's awesome, man. That was the other thing too. Not even wrestling related. The culture was wild. Just man, I was eating different foods, getting shown around. Like it was just. I got to see the Tower Bridge and just
Oh,
all the. But it
that
was
is something.
man. Never thought I'd see. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like it
yeah,
was cool, man.
oh yeah. Much like some of the places I got to go on deployment, and people ask, you like, being in the Navy, and I'd be like, I got to see parts of the world that I wouldn't have got to see without it, so I can't complain too damn much.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. And that
And
was like, oh, God, I said the last little point on this one too is like, man, to be in a country doing something that you've loved since you were a kid,
mm,
dude, it legit doesn't get better than that, man.
oh, totally agree with you. And now you brought up, having some of the food over there, and I've been lucky enough to get to talk to some world traveled people, and I gotta ask, for you, was the food as sucky as people tell me?
And I will go on record and say no. It was
Okay.
it was not. If you're a foodie, I will say I'm a foodie. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love going different places, trying all kinds of stuff. Man, I ate like a king, bro. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
awesome because I've always wondered if it's like people just joking around about it or if there's like something about that. But then hearing that from you, that's awesome because I didn't want to insult any of my UK listeners.
Yeah, I will back that up, man. Because like, I'll be real. I heard the same thing, and even I was like, okay, I got to see. Like, there's some different stuff. Like to me, man. Like, I mean, we don't do like beans for breakfast. That's big over there. You know what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like, man, everything that I actually ate and did, and man, I had some actual fish and chips in a pub, brother. Like,
Oh
it
man,
was.
I
Oh,
would want to do that so damn bad.
oh, brother, it was so awesome, man. That's all, dude. I did. Man, don't even get me started. I even brought over candies for the family. I found like a candy bar that I fell in love with only over there. It was, yeah, dude,
Nice.
it was awesome,
That
man.
that is that is awesome because much like you, I consider myself a little bit of a foodie. When I'm going someplace, I'm not really wanting to go to a chain spot. I'm wanting like, okay, where are the locals to here going to eat?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to go there.
Yeah. And even then, man, I even tried doing some of the regulars. So I did like the McDonald's. But let me tell you this too, man. So I was saying this to a bunch of people. So they call their McChickens mayo chickens, right?
Mm.
But you could tell it was made just wasn't sloppy. The chicken was like an actual good, like little fillet. You know what I mean? It was crispy. My number one was KFC, right? So I go down to this KFC and I get a rice box. I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. Had literally some rice, a chopped up little chicken breast, and the salad with this dressing. But brother, I didn't feel any grease. Like, you know, I mean, I hit the gym and all that. So like it was even the normal stuff you wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all, I loved it. Yeah.
That is awesome because, you know,
I did
when
have
I
me
was
some
on
sticky toffee.
but I remember
Oh
when
yeah,
I was
no,
on
I did have me some sticky.
yeah, had some
That was
sticky
it.
what?
Sticky. It's called like sticky toffee pudding. It's like something
Okay.
big over there, bro. Go, yes,
I'm,
get
I'm
down on that too. So go
I'm
ahead. My bad, man.
oh no. I wanted to hear about this because shit, I'm getting hungry just fucking talking about it. But
Nah, me
no,
too, bro.
when I was on deployment, there's like, you know, going to a lot of the local spots, but I remember, oh God, there KFC was really big over a lot of places in Southeast Asia, but I remember being in Singapore and me and a few friends had got a hotel out in town, and we got this package where like you got this private bar that only people with that package got. And it
Okay.
was basically an open bar, and you know the other people in there were like one at a time. Me and my friends
Yeah.
were like two or three at a time, and then we walked around the corner to the McDonald's, and I've never seen this here in the States, but they actually had double McChickens.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I'll have that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we ended up each getting like a bag full of those.
Man, that's where it's, dude. The one that got me was McDonald's too. So they had cheesy garlic bread dippers.
Mm.
Yeah, right? They were like little breaded things. I was like, okay, like there was just little stuff like that that I was like, man, I don't know if you know what you're looking for and you're a foodie, man. I say,
Oh
get.
hell.
I
Oh
mean,
hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Hell, even in Hawaii, I was in there on the at the McDonald's on base there, and it was funny because you know I've heard about spam down there, but like
Oh yeah,
literally their McDonald's menu had a separate section with just spam stuff.
that's wild. Yeah,
It
I
was
love.
weird. But I'm
That's,
like, hey, some people hate spam. I'm like, hell, if you fry the damn shit up right, it ain't that bad.
I'll be that guy, man. I grew up, like I said, and like so. Eventually, like I am adopted on my dad's side, but my mom remarried, and it was a modular with like 5 kids, bro. I got spam, I got bologna. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
that's,
yeah.
and I love it. So I'll stand by that.
Oh, for sure. And you know, you had the UK tour, you're back, and then like we mentioned a little bit, you're jumping right back into things with hell, the show's literally going on right now. Flophouse, bad motherfucker, which man, those guys at Flophouse, they've been good to me, but they can come up with some wacky ass names, and I love it.
I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? It's a you get the fights and then you get the party, brother. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at. Yeah. Even
Oh
now,
yeah.
looking around, everybody's just out here like kicking it, having a good time. Like it's you can feel the vibes too. So that's
Oh
flop out
yeah.
other home, brother. You know what I mean? Good
Oh
people.
yeah. I've had Schwartzy on twice,
Oh hell
and
yeah.
always a good time with Schwartzy. And you know, there's some people that were there tonight that I'm like, oh, I still want to have them on. Like, I mean, obviously B-Boy, huge fan of him. And then, you know, another guy that I've lost count of how many people I've had on from his promotion, but I've yet to have him on yet. Matt Tremont.
He is in the house, brother.
Like, I've literally lost count. Like, I think I actually one time I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make a playlist on my YouTube channel of just the H2O guys. And I
Yeah.
was like having to go all scrolling down, and I'm like, holy crap, how far am I going here?
Exactly. You're like, God damn, yeah. No, Maddie's awesome too. And like that's actually even just to get back to the wrestling a little bit, like I think that was one of my big things with coming back in. I came in a little late. Like I said, I quit for a bit, came back. Man, getting the respect of some of these guys like Schlack and like Matt
Mm.
and like, dude, it's just been incredible. Like I all the big ones I've wrestled, they've all just given me the I don't know. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Just the kind.
Having the respect of your peers and people that you admire like that, that is something special. You know, letting you know you're doing something right.
And I can't stress enough. That's like, I'm big on that, man. Like, don't get me wrong, give me the titles, all that stuff, but like something like that is real. You know what I mean, man? And that just
Mm-hmm.
every time I just feel like I see these guys, they're like, "Damn, Eric, you got something," and I'm like, "Dude, that just means more to me than I can say." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree with you because when I'm, you know, I can be my own worst critic with the
We all
podcast, but with pretty much everything.
yep.
But when I'm having, like, I've had people on that, you know, I had a goal when starting the podcast, how I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And when I'm having people tell me that they felt just like the goal that I had set for how I wanted it to go, without even telling them that that was my goal, I'm like, oh, dude. Oh.
Man, that's even the same on my end, man. So even when I came back, a little peak, like I was doing a whole different gimmick. You know, I mean, everybody starts off just kind of dipping their toes. Even to get back in, man, I didn't know where to start. I tell this story all the time where, man, I just ordered some red tights, some kick pads, and when there was a local wrestling promotion in my hometown, went down there, did the chairs, set some stuff up, and I was given like a 5-minute pre-show, and just like I said, I feel like this is in my blood. Wrestling is who I'm supposed to be, and for 5 minutes, I'm not tooting my horn, but the reception I got from there, did this. I was young money. I was a rich kid, but that was not who I was. I was living a modular, bro. You know what I mean? So it was not me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When COVID hit, I know it was a terrible thing, but it was actually like a little restart too. That's actually when Dillinger hit. So I've only been doing Dillinger for about 4 years, but like you said, there was something in my like it just I want to legally change my name because this is who I am. You know what I mean, man? Like,
oh yeah. When your in-ring persona just hits to where it's like it's just that extent that words are hard tonight for some reason. But when it hits and it's just that extension of you, it's like the crowd can just sense that authenticity with it to where it's like, okay, we know that, you know, there's air quotes predetermined aspects of this, but god damn, that guy's good.
That's man, and I think that's like literally every match. That's what I try to talk about. Like, I just want to rope you in. I want you to love what I love, you know, and why I fell in love with it. So like, literally, I think that's like the biggest compliments I've gotten. Where like, man, there's something about when you come out and everything's going on, I'm just sucked in, and I'm like, that's what I want. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no, and that's much like with my commentary debut. What I'm wanting to do is I just want people that will watch to just sense how much fun I'm having being there, calling it, and, you know, bringing, because, okay, I'm a bit of a goofball. I'll fucking admit it. So, like, I am literally going to be that goofball color commentator, like Pat McAfee.
I love that.
I'm going to be that of my commentary team.
All
because
day.
Oh man, Sunday we got entrances planned. We had to send, you know, music to my friend that's running the show, and I'm like, okay, what song is going to seem like me? And well, my show Drinkin at Moe's, my wife and I have seen Luke Combs about 10 times.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
He's got a song that it has been a favorite of mine of his since before he even put it on an album, and he was just performing it at shows. His song "Beer Never Broke My Heart," and I'm like,
that's it, dude. Yep,
that's it. Like, and there's this. I've been listening to it like on repeat, and I have the image playing in my head right now to where like I literally gonna do the. There's a part in the song where it just picks up. I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to do that Stone Cold with the beers.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, there's that part in the song that boom, I'm just gonna do it.
Dude, and live it up, man. Take that moment in, brother. You know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah,
that's
I'm oh god, to say I'm pumped would be putting it lightly.
I love it.
There was one thing when I was doing my homework for the episode that, for some people that will look at the name of the title, they might have some questions. Where it was for Wrestle Arts, and there was for AIWF, the Brass Knuckles World title, and I'm like, okay, some people when they think of a brass knuckles title, they might think of a match where you're like using brass knuckles.
Yeah, no, yeah. This was more like, I think the way AIWF, they do the like traveling titles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the brass knuckles in a way is just kind of no DQ. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
Yep,
That's what I've had explained with other titles of a similar name. So for the people that might have those questions, get that one out there, because that's the type of wrestling that I like. I love that down and dirty, just knock the snot out of you.
And I like it even then, man. Like I brought up RVD earlier, but like that, you know what I mean? It just adds a little, even just like a chair, one thing. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know the scars on my back. I'll do the crazy shit too. But man, sometimes just using it to revamp a move, or you know what I mean? Like just one thing. Sometimes I love being creative like that. So like honestly, when I got that, I was like, my goal with it is just to kind of have fun and match, do those things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and hell, I kind of got a little bit of a chuckle out of it, because it gave me this image of when I was, joking about my wife giving me crap about my cussing and me saying it for emphasis. There's sometimes where, in wrestling, doing those moves like some that RVD would do, and doing them without a weapon like a chair would look devastating enough. But
100%.
you add that in there, it's just that little something extra.
Just a little bit extra. I love it, man. And like I always talk about it too. Like you also made a point earlier too. Like we're not here to insult anybody's intelligence. I think we all know wrestling. You know what I mean? And I no matter what. But man, like we said, I brought this up before as well. Where also with death matches, that's kind of to segue a little bit. Like with death matches, man, that is no joke. I got I tricep open at Insane 8, literally got like 16 stitches off the rip, but there's that danger element. So my favorite wrestling is that wrestling kind of we were talking about with Ishii and the strong style, that shit that you're like, damn, like they're hitting each other. You know what I mean? Like this is that borderline where you can't really distinguish. And that's why I love death matches. I love taking that element because there is some danger. There is some real one wrong move. You know what I mean? So,
suspending that disbelief that like, okay, I know that the predetermined, but I don't know about that.
That exactly. That's the best.
Oh yeah. And hell, there's, you mentioned about, accidents happen. I remember watching, and I believe he's there tonight as well, Hoodfoot. I remember watching that match where he got like really bad, and like the match is going, and then all of a sudden, just abruptly, it's over, and you're like, what the hell? But then they show like on social media like pictures and stuff, and you're like, oh
yeah,
that explains it.
And even then too, like I Hoodfoot's my boy. Even that one, it wasn't even like a crazy move of anything. They were like just sliced him. You know what I mean? Like it can be that simple too. You know what I'm saying? So
hell, Nick Gage like clinically was dead.
Yeah, it went just going through the rope. You know what I mean? Like it's no joke. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely. Now, and you know what? One more thing about AIWF that some people might not know is going back to the old territory days. From what I've understood about them, and I've been around some because I, friends with a set of former tag champs. There they're kind of like back in the old territory days with the NWA. You know, they got the affiliate promotions all
Yep.
over.
Yeah, everywhere. You know what I mean? So even then, like I wasn't even at the time when I came in, I didn't know the title was on the line. You know what I mean? So that was kind of a cool little, like you said, it just reminded me of the old days where like hopefully the next person I pass it on to can even be anywhere. You know what I mean? Like I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
awesome concept.
Oh,
Some things are old, yeah, they're still good, brother. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, yeah. That old school mentality is definitely still of some good use out there.
100%.
Or what? We cut out there.
Sorry, man. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yep. No, I was just saying I agree completely.
All right. So now I have two categories. One is a bit of a name game where I name off some people and you give me some quick thoughts on them. And, you know, I try to, as much as possible, make it, you know, theme it towards the guests. And, you know, I was actually able to look up a bunch of past matches. And, well, at least most of these you've actually been in the ring with. One is actually there with you tonight. Well, two are actually there with you tonight.
I love this.
First one, Masada.
Whew. Man, learning experience. And speaking of old school, that's what it was. And he was one of those guys that I mentioned earlier where afterwards, man, getting the handshake, getting the nod of approval and all that, it meant more to me than I can say. You know what I mean? It really did. And even now, like he still keeps in touch and watches, so it's like I know it was real. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah,
yeah, I've got nothing. It was like learning experience, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
no, oh, I totally get you there. All right, next one. One of the more recent episodes, but I was still pretty damn happy to have him on because I've been a pretty big fan of his for a while. Akira.
Oof, yes. We have had some fights. You know what I mean? I think we've done 3 now. And every time I feel like it's one of those ones where the internet builds it up too. You know what I mean? Because after each one, we're both coming to the back, beat the hell out of each other. The internet's loving it. And we both look at each other, we're like, I know this will happen again. So, you know what I mean? It seems like we keep finding each other.
Oh yeah, and hell, the episode I had him on, there was a little period where like somebody made like a short little cameo. And it was like you'd have to really pay attention. And, like comes in right out of the corner, and like you could hear her, and then all of a sudden you see her, and like, oh, hello.
Like, hi. Not a
I've
bad
I've
cameo.
seen her live once, but that was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, that man. Even another one, man. Hard hitting chick. You know what I mean? Everything
Oh,
I've seen is pretty awesome. So,
oh
mad props.
man,
Absolutely.
one of those people that I would literally say equal opportunity ass kickers. Like, regardless of who you're putting her up against, boom, she'll knock the snot out of all of them.
Just as hard. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely.
All right. Next one, guy that's been on the show twice, Schwartzy.
Oh, my man. A true brother, man, honestly. We've traveled the road together, and you hear these stories about vets and stuff, and man, I've never met nicer people that have just treated me with respect my work. Are another one of those guys that just every time he sees me, he lets me know that I'm doing the right thing, and it just makes me, I don't know, just one of those ones that just means a lot to me.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely have those people in your circle that whenever you hear the compliments from them, it's like compliments always mean something, but when
Right.
they're coming from those people, it's like that much more.
It does too. And then to know like what they've done and where they've been and they've seen it all too. And it's just like,
Mhm.
man, like I said, to come back on after taking such a break and just getting these kind of things and meeting these kinds of people,
Oh,
I
totally.
couldn't ask for more. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally. Last but not least here, we kind of talked about him a little bit, but whether you want to call him by the Killdozer or the Bulldozer, the big man himself, Matt Tremont.
Man, I will say learning tree too. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I've yet to work him. I'm gonna get there. You know what I mean? But I will say, yeah, another guy that's just watched my matches and I didn't ask, or if you know what I mean, and has just been nothing but kind and told me like things I could do or even this, but like literally every time he's just another one of those guys that's like, you got something, Dillinger, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? And it's
Oh yeah.
that day will come and it will be another badge of honor, you know what I mean?
Oh hell, you like I will be paying attention because that's one I want to see right there.
All day. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Now I have some random questions. Some might be wrestling related, some might not be. Some might have absolutely nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far.
I love this. Let's go.
So, first one, the one that the only one that stays, well, one of two that stays in the same spot. Craziest in match moment for you?
Ooh, man, craziest in match moment. I could probably think of a couple. One, I will say my first death match against Josh Crane. We did a Taipei death match. And it was again gotten a lot of compliments. Some people have said it's like the best one, which that means a lot to me. You know, again, kind of going old school, but being an ECW guy, you know what I mean? It's like Taipei. We all know about the Taipei, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But man, that was my first gusher. Like I wear the white pants sometimes and everything. And man, I was drenched. And RIP to SBO, but I remember he was and he was like, man, you know, like you can always tell if there's a death match like wrestler that's meant to do death matches by the look in their eye with blood on their face. And there's a picture out there where I'm just like smiling ear to ear with all this blood. And he was like, that's that look, right?
That's the look.
Yeah, he's like, that's the look. So I got chills a little bit. That one means a lot to me. And then honestly, man, I would even say probably my tricep. I know it was the finish. Me and Yanni, another match that Drake Younger even went online and put over and told everybody to watch. And it was amazing. I appreciated that. I did a package off the second into a big bundle of tubes. And man, when I went down, literally jabbed straight into my tricep. You can see me it get stuck. I pull it up, and I knew instantly. I was like, "That's not good." You know what I mean? But
oh yeah,
luckily no permanent damage, but definitely one of those oh shit moments. You know what I mean?
oh, totally. And, you know, it's funny bringing up original ECW. I've had a few ECW originals on from Jason Knight, and some of his stories were pretty entertaining. And then getting to hear from Lloyd Anoa'i, who told me about a match with New Jack where they were told to be careful with the venue. And then they proceed to both go through a wall, and Paul Heyman starts screaming at them after the match.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's New Jack. You can't tell him one thing. You know he's going to do the other. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Telling New Jack to be careful with the venue is like telling a little kid not to do something. That's going to be the first thing they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Or don't touch this. They're touching it. Trust me. You know what I mean? I got 2 kids. 100% what's happening.
Oh, yeah. No, my wife and I have one on the way.
Oh, congrats.
Things are so far so good. So, yeah, I've already got stuff like my one regret with our twins was I didn't ever get to buy them a toy. So like I'm already like every paycheck, I'm buying a couple each damn paycheck before it even gets here.
Dude, you're like, that's the first thing I'm doing, man. Even if they don't play with it till later, get that toy off the rip, man.
Oh yeah. Hell, I've already got this idea that, you know, I actually got the approval from my wife to do it, where I actually bought they had this Bray Wyatt plush thing. And I was like, I had this idea. I was going to either have me with my son with the toy, or just my son with the toy, and put like, welcome to the world, little Firefly, and then like tag JoJo and Bo in it.
Dude, I love that so much, man.
Yeah, like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, I am getting that for him.
Man, it only gets worse from there too, because now my daughter, God bless her, but she's got me wrapped around her finger. So
So,
she's spoiled rotten, but in the best way possible. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, no, that's gonna be my little boy for sure.
Yeah, I did. I just had my boy too, so he's 5 months. Man, I already got a tooth coming, and he's just,
Mm.
it's just, yeah, it's crazy. Life's crazy, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, that it is, and I just found out as of recording this last weekend. Well, I'm gonna be an uncle again a couple months after my kid's born.
Hey, congrats again, my man.
Yeah, it was weird how we found out because my we were at a thing at a bar after my grandpa's funeral, and my sister said, "Okay, the obituary it needed a correction because it says there's only one great grandchild on the way.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
due in March," and we're like, "What?"
what a drop. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited about all of it. All right, on to the next question. So I've asked a lot of people that have, even just dabbled in death matches this question. What is a weapon you would avoid being used in a match if you had the choice?
If I had the choice, I know it's going to sound silly, but there is a couple. Uh, Man, carpet strips. Those
Oh
things,
God, those are a bitch.
oh, they tear me up. You know what I mean? And like, there's no good way to grab them. There's no good way to, you know what I mean? They just hurt. Like, it just brutal. And I know a big one, and I might get some flack for this. I will take them. I've done it. You know what I mean? But man, gussets are wild. Like, I've seen some gusset shots. Just,
Yeah.
bro. And I've done the ones to the head, man. And like, let me tell you, like, those will, you feel that for a week. You know what I mean? Like, that
I
is,
can imagine.
oh
The
man, no joke. So
Oh yeah, I've seen some people after some gusset things, and yeah, no, not pleasant seeing it. I remember seeing, I guess the one I had in my head was the Tenzan or the round
the circles,
things where like you're literally having to take a pair of pliers to rip them out.
and you can see their head like coming up with it. You
Yeah,
know,
like the skin just start. Oh, it
I
like
know,
you hurt watching it.
dude. A lot of those, man. You know what I mean? Those would probably be my like top two. I know, like I said, Gus's, I'm here for it. Like, I'm down to get crazy. But man, it's one of those ones where you're like, this is gonna suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like okay, I'll do it, but I hopefully can we like not do it as much?
You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Just give me the good shots and let's call it a day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. All right. So having just come off a UK tour, and well, hell, any independent wrestling or pro wrestling in general, traveling can be crazy.
Yes.
What is a crazy travel story that you have?
Man, actually, I brought him up earlier. SPO, it was fun. We did a drive from Indiana to Jersey. Uh, Overstocked the car. Didn't think about
Mm.
it. Lots of folks in there. Hoodfoot was in there. I had a brother of mine in there and a couple other people. And SPO had to troop it in the far back with the latch and everything.
Oh
13. Oh, man, the whole time, like, we were coming out of that thing like a clown car, dude. You know
oh
what I
God,
mean?
yeah.
Opening that. But we made it, man. You know what I mean? But those are the
Oh,
fun
yeah.
ones. I've had some others that, I mean, like you said, traveling can be brutal, man. I remember I did TOD. I did
Mm.
my first TOD, yeah, a couple years ago. Time's flying. I can't even remember. But man, I had just got done with a match. I went to my real job, did a shift, and drove all the way to Delaware. Got out, did some match, got back in the car and drove halfway back, and I just couldn't do it anymore. But I had to work the next day, so I'm one of those guys, man. Like, I do what I got to do to get done, but it takes a toll. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
oh yeah.
there's been like
Hell,
those scary moments driving, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, like,
yeah.
I've
No,
come across
definitely.
terrible weather, and like, you know what I mean. So those ones are more my oh, just dread them. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. Some of the road trips with the way these Midwest winters get, it can be a bitch.
Yeah, I did. I did do that 2020 when I just kind of kicked off Dillinger. I was working Congo Kong, and I drove up north, came back in that snowstorm,
Mm,
and like a 3 hour trip. It was supposed to be turned into like 6.5. I like, man, I had the wheel sideways. There's semis
mm.
blowing me over. Like it was. I made it home, but I probably should have just chilled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely had those where like you get some of those highways in between small towns where it's just one lane each way, and you got a snowdrift coming across your lane. You got a semi coming from the other way. So you're like, okay, I just got to plow right through this damn thing. And then I literally got sent spinning. My driver's side door flies open. I got snow flying in at me.
Brother. Yes,
I
no,
I finished sideways like just right before I would have gone into the ditch.
it could have been just so much worse. You know, same thing. Man, I'm telling you, there's a couple of those getting blown over, and I'm coming off, and I'm like, this is it. This is this is the moment. You know what I mean? And I just save it, and then I won't forget one exit that the GPS had me. That's why I ended up having to go the long route. I got off on the exit, and there was so much snow. I felt it. Like I couldn't even stop at the end. Luckily, it was dark, so I knew there was no cars. But I was like, if I stop, I'm done. You know what I mean? So I literally just had to plow it back up on the ramp and troop it through, man. But man, that snow's coming at you. You can't see shit. Like it's just,
Oh yeah. Hell, even if you have four-wheel drive, sometimes that stuff like you get some of those roads, that four-wheel drive ain't gonna do shit.
you're in it to win it, brother. You know what I
Well,
mean?
for sure. And
Oh yeah.
earlier I know not the alcoholic drinker, but I do have this question in here because I feel weird if I didn't ask. Favorite drink. So we'll go your favorite drink in general, non-alcoholic. What's your favorite?
Dude, man, this is gonna I get a lot for this, but I'm dead serious. It's milk. I love
Okay.
Schwartzy cameo here, but it is, dude. I'm a milk drinker, dude. I drink probably a gallon every other day almost. Hey, I stand by it though. I don't have any broken bones, so you know what I
Hey,
mean.
nothing wrong with that.
You
Hell,
know?
you're actually the second person in the span of like a week and a half, 2 weeks that I've gotten that answer.
Oh no shit. Yeah, I don't even know. I have a problem with it at this point. You know what I mean? Because like I'll pour a glass and I can't just sip it. It's down the hatch every time.
Oh,
Like
hell, that's me with Dr. Pepper. I'm a bit of a Dr. Pepper fiend, and like my wife gives me shit about it, but literally, I'll have a can and I'll just it might take me a couple, but like it's literally like and then
dude, done. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't even help it. Then I'll do another one, and I'm like, maybe I'll try, and I'm like, nope, we're doing the whole thing. You know what I mean? I just
yep,
it hit
yep.
the spot for me, man. I don't know, you know, but I
Oh
am
yeah.
that, and then like I drink a lot of water, man. I am a big gym guy, so I try to just keep it. I don't drink soda. Actually, that's a weird thing too. I in high school randomly just stopped, and I just haven't. I mean, I've had sips here and there, but other than that, like, yep, no soda for years, man. So yeah,
Hey, I can respect that. I mean, I
thank
know I probably need to cut back a little.
yeah,
My
you know,
wife tells me I need to drink more water, which yeah, I will fully admit. Don't tell her I said she's right, but she is.
she knows,
But oh god. But recently at work, it's just our water thing. It's just started to taste funny. So I'm like, I'll get some on the way home.
Yeah, I feel that though. Even me too. Like I stand. We all know water. Like it gets old after a while, so I understand. You know what I mean? Like it's just something you're like, this isn't really hitting the spot. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, but hey, my wife don't really have that issue. She drinks water like a goddamn fish.
Respect to that, then. Oh yeah,
All right. So, last but not least, here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into wrestling.
man. For me, I would go full board. You know what I mean? Go all in. Like love it. I'm gonna give a list here. You know what I mean? Make sure you still love it and always love it. I don't know, like even now, like I said, I'm an addict, man. It is what it is. Like I think it's part of the game. Whenever you figure yourself out, but like I watch wrestling every single day because I love it. Still, I study all the time, but I still enjoy a match. I love it to the core. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't want that to ever go away. I don't give a shit what happens. You know what I mean? I'll
Oh
always
yeah.
share posts that are like warm to me, where people are telling me kind words because they're realizing how much I love it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like, never give up, man. Like I told you earlier, like I was doing a money gimmick that wasn't shit. You know, it wasn't me. But then when you find you, take that ball and just run with it, man. And that's my big one, man. And show respect. I'm big on respect.
Mhm.
I think that's what's gotten me very far too. Um, I don't know. Just remember, there's been a shitload of people before you. There's going to be a shitload after. Taking the moment and just ride the ride, brother. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Being respectful is always key, but also not putting up with bullshit when you know that you don't deserve it.
And that's also true, you know, man. And like, luckily, I feel like we're in a time now where those things are more vocal.
Yeah.
I talk about this, man. So in 2013, when I graduated, I'm actually, I look back as a blessing that I kind of took a break because knowing where I got still drinking and stuff, it was just a different game back then, man. There was a lot
Yeah.
more kind of crazy stuff going on and stuff. So I don't, who knows where I would have ended up or what I would have got into.
Totally.
Yeah. And then now I do feel like you said, you're still a human. Don't let anybody, you know what I mean? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So,
Oh yeah.
and training, man, that's another big one. Get a good trainer, like for real. We all paid the money. You know what I mean? Like find a good one that's going to actually care and take their time with you. And I think that'll take you a lot farther than people think. You know what I mean?
Oh, oh yeah. And it's not like it was, back in the day where it's like a reputable school was like you might be having to travel halfway across the country. Now it's like
Right.
literally every single region of this country has a reputable school in it.
Thousand
And
percent.
some of them, a handful of them.
Exactly. Kind of go with what we said earlier. Like it's not like the other times too, or there was all that bad. Like now there's like no excuses, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like get out there,
Oh yeah.
find it. You know what I mean? Like it's there. And yeah, it just, I think, I don't gotta say it. I think we all know we see stuff. There's some that could use more training. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
no, we've all seen some of those.
we have, man. And that's where I stress the gym. I don't say everybody's got to be jacked or ripped, but like just taking it serious. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
Yes, at the same time. So
Oh yeah. Be respectful, take it seriously, and I kind of liked how you said it at first. Go full bore at it because it reminds me, and I always laugh every time I say this because I get, I don't know, I get a chuckle out of it, but it was always never half-ass anything. Always use your full ass.
full ass, bro. Full ass. I love that. No, that's perfect, man. For real. Because then I always say that too. Like even in a match, like for a spot, if you're gonna commit to something or whatever, like sometimes if you half-ass it, that's when people get hurt. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's
That
those like when one person's going full bore, but the other person's half-assing it, somebody's getting hurt. If you both just go full bore at it, there you go.
it's gonna be magic. You know what I mean? Full ass.
Mhm.
Tell you.
Totally. All right. Well, before we go, where can people find you social media wise so if they don't already have their eyes on Public Enemy number one, they can go ahead and get them there?
Absolutely, man. My big ones are like Instagram and Twitter right now, or X, I guess. Yeah, I'm still old school.
Oh yeah, no, same.
X is just sounds weird, man. Yeah, man. Actually, do you mind real quick? We're getting ready to sign off. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Somebody that you were already
Hey,
talking.
B-boy.
What's
I
up?
remember you were in my last ever independent show before I left San Diego from the Navy.
Oh, it's fucking. Who is that? Is that Kevin? No.
No, they call me Big Mo. You would know.
Oh, I do know you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I was just like literally before we started this, I was actually watching your guys' match because I'm like, he was like, can I have some time? I'm like, oh shit, fine. And then I'm watching on IWTV and I'm like, holy shit.
That's
exactly right, bro.
I'll let you get to it.
Oh, yeah, all day, bro. Hell yeah, man. Last little cameo there for you.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. So the X is Eric Dillinger 5. Twitter is Eric_Dillinger 2020. And then just hit the book, look up Eric Dillinger. I've got Facebook on there too, man. I try staying as updated as possible with life and kind of a mess, but we got it. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah, nope. I can
anyone,
definitely relate with appointments for the little one and losing my grandpa the last week or two. It's been kind of crazy, but plugging away.
the way I've been saying, man, life has definitely been lifing. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
definitely,
that is true. That
100%.
is true. Well, we will get all of that in the description, all the social media stuff. Thank you for thinking of the little cameo there at the end. That was some
timing.
hell. When I put together little clips of this episode, that is definitely going in there.
Hell yeah, dude. Love that.
But thank you again for taking the time to talk to me tonight. Like I said, not very often do I get to talk to somebody right after they have a match. So that was a fun experience. And hey, go have some fun out there. I know they got a lot going on, and you're welcome back anytime at all.
Brother, the pleasure was all mine, man. Seriously, I can't believe how long we've been talking. I love those conversations.
I know.
Where it's just been chatting it up. It feels like you're just right here chilling with me, man. So
that has been my goal from the beginning. That's what I want. Dude, like I've had people that do drink that they've been saying, dude, it was like I was just sitting back having some beers with my buddy. I'm like, that's the way I've always wanted it.
That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun and enjoyable, and you killed it, man. So thank you for having me on, brother.
Thank you. That means a lot. Well, time to sign off.